Namaste, everyone. Michele Granberg here. Welcome to another episode of Positive Energy, bringing enlightening television for your evolving soul. Do you believe in angels? Are you fascinated by angels? An angel is a supernatural being found in various religions and mythologies. Angels are often depicted as benevolent, celestial beings who act as intermediaries between heaven and humanity. There are those who say that angels have a divine mission to protect and guide human beings. Let's find out more from my guest experts. Let's see what they have to say about angels. So stay tuned because Positive Energy starts right now. So I'm really happy to be here and excited to have my lovely panel of angel experts here on Positive Energy. So I'm here with Lorraine Heinrich and Rita Strough and Christine Alexandrini. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about angels. Let's talk angels. Angel talk. So people everywhere love angels, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
I would think so, yes.
Barely a person that doesn't love angels. You say angels, people light up.
They do. You're absolutely right. They get excited.
Their eyes just light up. It's an angel craze.
Yes.
And all of that is for good reason. And there's underlying reasons behind that that say something really interesting and special about the times that we're living in. So let's talk a little bit about angels then. So Lorraine, what are angels really? How do you describe angels?
I would describe angels as helpers of God, and they are beings of light, and they are sent for purpose. And the purpose is always connected to the will of the divine and the universe.
I love that. Helpers of the divine.
Absolutely.
Would you add anything to that, Rita?
I think that's right on the money, in my opinion. The other thing that I feel about angels is that they're like your best friend. So whether you feel like you're all alone, you're not. You just have to remember that they're there.
They're your buds on your side.
Couldn't agree more. You know,
Right?
they really are your best friends. You know, I call Archangel Michael Big Mike. And they, it makes him more accessible. And like Archangel, people think, don't you all think that people get this concept? I have to genuflect and pray up to like, no, he's right here.
Yes.
Like, really? I'm like, yeah. So they're your best friends. They just happen to have this imaginary wings and halo.
I love that you're bringing it to be so much more accessible for people so that it's not so lofty, so they don't feel so far away in that particular way. But speaking of that, so do angels exist or live on our plane, in the physical world plane, or do they just visit the physical world plane? How does that work? Or we always hear about the angel realm, the angelic realm. So do they travel between both? I know what I kind of sense about that, but what do you say, Lorraine?
They travel. They are multidimensional. So they're quite capable of being very physical. And you'll hear stories all over the world about angels that have come to visit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they do. And so they do have a place in the heavens, but they're also equally able to, you know, travel around on Earth. And there's some amazing stories and experiences people have had directly with them.
There's some accounts written about that.
Yes, without a doubt.
Books.
And in books, absolutely. And so speaking of that, you're right. People have been writing about angels for centuries, I guess. Thousands of years. Even you can find it in religion, symbols in religion and mythology. There are those who say angels are more symbolic than not, but there's value even in them as symbols. Even if you just believe they're just a symbol, okay, what are they a symbol of? Right? Goodness and benevolence and maybe what's possible in each of us.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that sometimes what we forget is that angels are here to assist us on our own path. So each time that we have a desire or a need or something that's calling us forth, a specific angel may come in to assist us with that. So they all have kind of their own specialties, but then
just the way we do. You know, we have artists, we have dentists, we have doctors, we have areas of specialties. So Michael, he's all about protection. He's the patron saint of our police force in this country. Raphael is known to be the healer. Little goddess over here in green, wearing all green, right? And we've got Zachiel, Miss Purple, who's working a lot with the violet flame. So they have their areas of specialty. But if we don't know who to call on, they don't care.
They show up anyway.
They show up anyway, which is the amazing thing about them.
Yes, you can call them by purpose. If
Yes.
you don't know their names, you can just say, angels of travel, please help me to have a safe journey, and they come.
The most important thing is to invite them, is to connect.
That's
Is to verbalize that, is to set
Yes.
those intentions. So were angels ever human, do you believe? Because sometimes some people do believe that maybe we like to think of our loved ones as angels on the other side. Is that just something that brings comfort to us, or is there some truth to that? What do you think, Christine?
Well, it's a two-edged sword. So there are angels, Metatron and Sandalphon, that have been here as human, have walked the earth as human. Enoch, Francis Bacon. My grandmother, I love her, I adore her, both of them, they're not angelic. Humans, my perspective, and which is what they've told me, we are literally too dense. We are here to learn. This is what life is. It's about school. We're here to learn. We're here to heal our karma, create dharma. We're not angelic. Now, there's always a caveat. Back me up here, goddesses. That angels will incarnate as humans. But often,
That's right.
But often they themselves don't remember they're angelic. So there is that really weird little loophole.
Some fluidity to that. You wanted to
Yes,
add?
I think what my experience is that angels have this ability to channel into a person.
Yes.
Oh,
So
without a
I really
doubt.
don't think that they are human per se, although like you said, those two, their story, their basis of their story is that they were human or walked the earth as humans. But I believe that they use their energy through open channels or people that are open to them. And my first initiation to them was this verb that just kept coming through was, boots on the ground. We need boots on the ground. They want people to be here for them so that they can work with us
To be
help
their
us.
spokespeople.
To be their spokespeople, to intervene. You might feel guided to call somebody, and it might be them actually helping you be of assistance to them to get a message of love to
without
someone
a
who
doubt,
needs it.
yeah.
So there really is a partnership. There's a very symbiotic relationship
Yes.
that we all
Oh my
have with
gosh,
angels,
yeah.
whether we recognize
Absolutely.
it or not. So let's talk more about angel communication, because I know each of you do this in your own way. So Lorraine, how do angels appear to us, or how do they communicate with us?
So there's a variety of ways, but typically, and from the many experiences that I've had or others have shared, they communicate through telepathy. So you'll get a sensation or a feeling that you are not alone, or you will be in a situation where you really need to understand what it is you need to do, and you'll just get this, and it's different than spirit guides.
Yeah.
It's a different feel, it's a different energy, it's definitely sent from the divine. And a lot of times they intervene in situations where we are in some sort of perilous situation. And that's the way they come through. Mostly they communicate, I like to say, through the divine will that flows through the universe. And so we all have that ability to get their imprints. And sometimes they're more direct, but a lot of times it'll be a feeling or a sensation versus, a really elongated, detailed message.
I know
Without a
people
doubt.
watching would probably love thinking, why can't they just appear to us just the way we all
Wouldn't you be
sort of
afraid if Michael just showed up right now?
maybe initially, for sure, we'd be like, wait a minute. So, why can't we see them? I know that
Right.
partly my explanation is that they're a different energy vibration.
Yes.
They're resonating at a different frequency, and we're denser than that. So, but to speak to that, this form that we see that is so common of angels with wings and a white robe and a halo, is that accurate?
Well, I
or
can-
is
if I
that
can
just a
jump in.
depiction?
Oh, please do.
I want to tell you something that's very interesting because I wasn't sure that I was seeing angels because I thought people actually saw them like a physical person standing
Right.
before you. I didn't realize you see them in your mind's eye, almost like your imagination. It just shows up. But when I started to do channeling and connecting with different angels, I noticed that Archangel Gabriel, specifically for me, in my own experience, presented himself first as male and second as without form at all. He told me, I prefer not to take the shape or form, so he appears to me like a flash of lightning. He looks like a bolt of lightning, just
Yes.
bright white light that moves and shimmers. That's how I see Gabriel. But Michael I see in full regalia with the wings and everything.
Right.
So maybe
He's
they'll
different.
show up, they'll match the way they appear to how that person will most be open, the window within them
Perhaps.
that's
That's a
most
great
open.
question.
That's a great way
That's a
to
really good
describe it,
question.
because we had an incident years ago, because like you said, they will enter a human body to help you out during a situation. So long story short, we were coming home from a trip and we were pressed for time. An angel popped into a red cap. Now, had the angel popped into a person looking like a bum, not so much. We're not going to take your help. But they popped into somebody that we would accept.
Gotcha.
But then when working with them, with clients and
Yeah.
students and whatnot, they will show up to how, for me, it resonates on what I would expect. And then the more comfortable you get with their energy, they start to morph.
They're so wise.
They are. It's
so-
amazing how
They're
wise
so
they are.
wise. They have an intelligence so beyond us that they it's all for the highest good anyway. So
It is indeed.
whatever form they're choosing, or if it's coming more into our heart or into our mind's eye or into our dreams, we know that would you agree, their mission is to guide and protect humans.
Absolutely.
That's the role that
Yeah.
they play.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about spirit guides, right? And what are the differences and what are the similarities between angels and spirit guides? Were spirit guides human? Do we all have spirit guides? Can animals be spirit guides?
Yes.
Rita,
Well,
what do you think?
I do. The experiences again that I have come from, first of all, opening to angels, and then they, like I said before the show, they're the tip of the iceberg. They then opened up other things. So as I would sit with an individual or a person, I would begin to feel almost a spiritual support team coming around them, including angels and guides. The guides, in my opinion, could be someone you had a past life with, that you had a specific type of relationship with, or they come in to serve a specific purpose. If you, like in this particular moment in your life, need to feel very brave and courageous. You may have a spirit guide who's an expert in brave and courageous vibration, kind of come into your field and they assist with you. And then when you're done with that, they may fade and go away, or they might hang around. So I've seen them both be ones who are with you all the time, also
For
as
life.
people,
For life, and
or
others
for a
that come in
purpose.
as needed.
In and out of stages of your life, different guides for different
Right,
periods.
yes.
Of your,
Yeah,
have you felt the same thing?
Yes,
I guess?
my understanding and the way I work with them is that they exist on a different dimension also, but it's a little closer to Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
And so they may have had, physical life. A lot of them have, and some of them have not. But typically, they work a little bit more directly and often with us based on what we are doing at that moment in time. So it's not even that we need to call them in by a purpose. They're there waiting to show us something or teach. They're teachers in a different way. Angels serve the will of God more directly, where guides serve us with wisdom that helps us with more of an earthly lesson that we're trying to understand or embrace. And so when they come in, they will come in a different way, and I find them not dense as humans can be, because we can be dense, but they're a little bit more knowledgeable about earthly things. They're a little bit more helpful
Right.
about that sort of
Yes.
thing.
There's that human connection.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
kind of in the middle. So if people want to connect with their spirit guides, is it the same type of process? What should they pay attention to? What should they say? What should they watch for?
Good
Any
questions.
sense, Christine?
There's a lot of ways that spirit guides and angels will connect with us. Certainly, they'll come in directly through that infinite knowledge and wisdom from the divine. They will also show up with feathers. They will also show up with numbers. They will show up with songs, will magically appear. I was going to my parents' house years ago. My aunt was on her deathbed. On the way down, I pass exit 44, a very strong angel number. The next song that comes on, Take Me Home, by Cher. Have never heard that song on the radio. Well, not since it debuted.
Right.
So I got to my parents. I was like, Aunt Susie left. They go, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, well, I got the signs.
Right.
So there's all sorts of ways. The guides will be a little bit more humane because many of them have been here. They know what it's like to be confused, to be scared, to be, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm going crazy here. They remember those nuances. And they're like, it's okay. Come along. Let me show you how. So
they're not human, but they're more human-like.
correct.
They're more relatable in that way.
In that way, because, like Lorraine said, many have been here already in human form. They've become an ascended master. So very much a human, but became so enlightened
Love
that
it.
they
There you
still
go.
get us and what we have to go through.
So we need to pay attention to all of those very human, ordinary, seemingly mundane things, but things that repeat themselves, signs
Exactly.
and synchronicities and numbers are
And I
the
like to
way
say,
often they're
too,
speaking to us.
Not to interrupt you, but this idea of spirit guides versus angels, this idea of a support team is a good one for just ordinary people to kind of hold in your mind.
Yes.
They're working
Because
together.
If you get too
so
hung up
good.
on trying to say, is this my angel, is this my guide, you're going to miss the point. The point is you have a team that's working with you to support you in everything that you do. So just go with it. Go with what you feel in your gut, in your heart, because that's
In
where
your
they really
heart.
drive you through that. These
It's,
issues
it's
in
not the
life.
head so much, your thoughts.
It's your heart.
It's your heart, because that's the birthplace of your soul, and what gets you excited,
Yes.
what gets you juiced up, you know, and you know what's right when you can't stop thinking about it anymore, right?
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
absolutely.
okay, I've got to do it. I have to say it. I have to
Yes.
act upon this.
Yes. And
So
and you
listening
can-
to our heart.
Yes,
Yes.
and you can journey. You know, you can meditate.
Yes.
And when I journey people, typically I will take them to a different place to meet the angels than I would to have them meet spirit guides.
That's exactly
Spirit
right.
guides is you know, it's also an elevated place beyond our three-dimensional reality, but it's not the same place. It's actually a different address, you could say.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I
almost
that.
like a dial, like a dial. You got to kind of
Yes,
click into,
a
like on the
frequency.
radio, a certain
This is so
spirit
cool.
guide
I love
frequency,
this conversation.
101, and angels a little higher up on the dial. So let's inspire people right now. Connecting a little bit. What inspirational, either right now in this moment, are you getting to give to our audience? Something a little bit inspiring for folks, or maybe an inspiring message that you've received in the past that you've passed along, or maybe angels have a main message that comes through so often that you know it's an important one.
Yeah.
Would any of you like to
I
share?
could say, I mean, I do a monthly class, and the topic changes every month based on whatever's coming in. But there does seem to be a recurring theme, and that is that there is this feeling now of almost like two forces coming together, one going up and one going down.
Yeah.
And there's good and bad, or there's highs and lows. We're in a place of duality, right? So they're constantly telling me to remember that we are a bridge between heaven and earth, that we are good, that we are light, and that if we can remember to connect to this higher part of ourselves, to the angelic realms, to bring down that information and energy, but then pull it down into the earth realms, because this is where it's needed. You know, when you ground yourself and connect with Mother Earth, or create this column of light, as we like to call it, you become a channel between heaven and earth. So it's all about kind of unity, consciousness, bringing people together to feel like we're all related, we're all one. It's like the Lakota Indians would say, aho mitakwyasen, you know, we are all one, all my relations. So creating that, like a bridge between all the different consciousness
that.
levels and sentient
Perfect.
beings together.
That's a beautiful message, being a bridge.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bridge between heaven and earth. They give that to me all the time.
Yeah, that's
Do you
perfect.
have an inspiring message from the angels?
It's such a simple one. They just wait for us to call them.
Yes.
So I mean, we all have that ability to connect with them. So it's not some place you need to attain spiritually or any other way.
You don't have to earn it.
It's not about earning it. Actually,
Right.
that's why they're here, is to help humans and to help humanity. So they really cannot violate our free will. And
Right.
because of that, we must call them, whether it's our soul crying out in a time of need, or whether we just could really use some angelic support. And that goes for spirit guides as well. Yes, they're always with us, but you know, we need to take the time to listen. But they're there for us. And we do have it. We all have a team.
So maybe the only
Yes.
thing that could block people would be that just their lack of knowing, their lack of belief, their
Self-doubt,
own
yeah.
self-doubt, their own
Self-doubt's a big
misconceptions,
one.
worthiness, not feeling good enough,
Right.
caught up in just negative self-talk is the only thing, because they want to hear from us, indeed, that is their purpose.
Exactly. And to piggyback, absolutely, we must ask. But then the key is, as I tell my students, shut up.
Right.
Because we're like, I'm asking. I'm like, you have to be quiet. It's that stillness where you can really make that connection. But, you know, and I loved your message, and it plays into that they are always there to remind you, be yourself.
Right.
Be you, be me.
Right.
Simply be you, because you deserve life as you desire. Not what the tabloids or social media or somebody says we have to do or be or act in order to be accomplished or loved or worthy. It's letting that sense of self-worth build.
Right.
And it's-
Authenticity. Right.
And it's an epidemic
Right.
of how much we don't trust ourselves and how much we think we're only I'm going to be greedy if I want that as well. And I've had people say, well, aren't you being greedy? Like, have you learned nothing? The universe is vast.
Infinite.
It's so infinite.
Abundant.
It's abundant in everything. We all want our thing, but our definition of our thing is so different.
Right, exactly.
Because it's ours.
Right.
You know, we need to go back to basics, and that's what the angels and the spirit guides always remind us, that they are unconditional love. They're already in that state, and they convey it and express that so easily. So their main message certainly is to love ourselves and attempt to love each other unconditionally. We really are okay.
Right. So if I may interject, we have made up the term unconditional love. Because as humans, we've made love
as if there's any other kind of love.
Exactly. We've made love so conditional. I love you, Michelle. Do you take the trash out? I just made it conditional. I love you. Be careful. It's conditional. Love is love.
Right.
There are no conditions.
Love is the force that created the universe.
Exactly. So this is like my little campaign thing. Is like love is love.
Right.
You know.
Well, I love when it all circles right back to love. I love you guys. Thank you, angels.
Love you.
Thank you for those messages. So you all do wonderful work in the world. Let's have you talk a little bit about the work that you're currently doing in the world with angels and with humans. and
angels.
And how all of that comes together. Lorraine, tell us about what you do.
I'm part of the Modern Mystery School. I am an international instructor, so I get to travel worldwide, and I'm also local. I'm in Bound Brook, and I also teach in Bloomingdale, New Jersey. Courses on angels, spirit guides, and really my goal is to empower people. And, you know, giving them practical tools to access every part of themselves so they can really know themselves, because to know yourself is to really love yourself. I think a lot of people are a little bit disconnected from the inner. And so what I do is I help people to find that through meditation, alternative healing, and metaphysical classes. And I've been doing it for, oh my goodness, a long time.
Longer than you want to say.
Full time since 2002. So I love what I do. It's my passion, and
beautiful.
I'll be doing it forever.
So glad that you're doing that in the world. Rita, what do you tell us about what you do?
Where do I start? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have to throw that out on the table. But I woke up about 10 years ago to my mystical side. The angels were the beginning. And since then, so many things have opened for me that I began to teach classes, basically just, again, to help people turn on their own superpowers, so to speak, like recognize that you do have a connection to something immense and beautiful, and that is who we are. So the classes that I teach connect people with the angelic realms, with each other. We do a lot of things with moon cycles and divine connections to various beings, things like Vedic mantra chanting to connect to the Hindu gods and goddesses, which all give us different things. So I also do spiritual counseling sessions. I work in my own life to create a space which is called Just Breathe in Cinnaminson for others to come who are just noticing their gifts, who want to exercise them or to put on their own classes and, you know, start seeing clients. It's a space for them to finally do it. And I encourage people to reach out in that way. I feel I'm a platform for others to launch their own gifts. So it's just, the happiest thing to me is to see another person open up, grow, become comfortable with themselves, blossom, flower, and then just go out in the world.
You're helping the helpers.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
It's a supportive network that we are for each other. That's amazing. Christine, tell us about what you do.
Oh gosh, like you. So many things.
Ditto.
Ditto. I love inspiring and empowering people to be. You know, to go back to very much what you both do, go back to their essence. Remember their whys. Why do I want to do this? Why am I motivated? And I help them do that through client work, through schooling. I have an authorization course that comes out once a year because it's an 8-month online course, starting my own mystery school, believe it or not. Nice. Have written, how many books? 3 books now, working on a 4th, another set of oracle cards coming out. So all these different avenues, because the platform keeps growing and growing. We have a very sacred community of all places on Facebook. And it's crazy, but it is. So it's an amazing group, and it's this community, just as much as you said, Rita, is to witness somebody coming out of their cocoon.
Yes.
And seeing them spread their wings and grow I really get giddy. I get overclipped. You know, it's just, it makes my heart soar to see that, and to know I had a little bit of say in that. I pushed them. What kind of language is that? I pushed them along and helped them remember.
Right.
That's my blessing. That's my gift that I love to share.
Well, I know that you're doing wonderful work in
Thank
the world
you.
because I follow you and we've known each other for a while.
Gosh,
I know
it's
that
been a while.
you guys are doing such wonderful work in the world. I know that we're all part of the same collective energy that's attempting to move things forward on the planet, and we're helpful for all the forces that support us in all of that. So please continue to do the work that you're doing in the world. Continue to share it. I hope that people will reach out to you. So
Yeah.
that's all the time we have. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
on Positive
darling.
Energy. We're wrapping up another enlightening show. My message today is about choosing hope over fear. Please remember that you're not alone. There are benevolent forces all around you. Hope is light in the darkness. Stay hopeful, my friends. Thank you, Monday Morning Flowers, for the beautiful floral arrangement. Thank you for watching, and join me next time on Positive Energy.